Ryan Garcia finally responds to Devin Haney and his team saying because he did not sign up under their guidelines of a 48-hour deadline, they are moving on and they are not fighting Ryan Garcia next in a rematch. Ryan Garcia has responded to this in this video. Stay tuned to the end. I will break down exactly what he said, and I'll do it in the next minute. Haney versus Garcia. I really hoped we would be done with this particular fight, but we aren't. And I knew this, I could tell, I just had a feeling, and I advise people to go with their intuition. The videos are still up. I told you this was gonna be a bad look, this fight. Everything felt wrong, everything felt off from really the inception. The whole WWE pushing thing at Super Bowl Row, to how Ryan was acting, to, you know, his weight, just so many different things. And I said this in the video. Now, Ryan Garcia has responded to the Haneys. He says, quote, "You have to be dumb if you think I'ma listen to what Bill Haney requests. First of all, they are suing me. Second of all, I don't need them at all. Laughing my ass off." Ironically, what Ryan is saying sounds identical to what Boxingego has told you on the channel in recent videos regarding this subject. I told you, do not get used to the idea of an immediate rematch. Maybe in the future they will rematch, I don't know. But it looks like the rematch is not going to be next at all. I think that much is pretty much confirmed, that, you know, despite how big it would be, they're not going to go into a situation where it's an immediate rematch. What Ryan Garcia is saying here is exactly what I've been telling you on my channel. Why would Ryan Garcia, who is the A side, whether you like it or not? See, when I say these things, I know I'm right. It's not up for discussion. It's not up for debate. Like, it's like me being the best in the business and it's not even close. I know that is the truth. I don't care who says what, who disagrees. If you try to solicit and name drop a bunch of other people, then you will be removed and blocked from the channel. I do not allow soliciting. However, certain things just are. I think we live in a society that's weak, and people always want to play devil's advocate and, you know, try to find some fake silver lining and, oh, let's look at the other side. But some things, there is no real other side. Like, let's say Jeff Dahmer. What Jeffrey Dahmer did is disgusting and reprehensible, period. There's no like, oh, think of it from Jeff Dahmer's point of view. Look at his POV, ego. There is no POV for kidnapping or taking people, unaliving them, and then eating them. Some things just are what they are. And I told you with this situation, it is what it is. If they rematch, I didn't think they were going to do an immediate rematch. People are trying to, they want me to be wrong. I get it. I understand it. But Ryan is the A side. You could say, oh, but he's racist. Oh, but he said this. Oh, but Osterine. Oh, but this. No matter what you say, at this current point in time, he is still the A side over the likes of Devin Haney. In fact, he'll probably be the A side over anyone not named Canelo or Gervonta Davis or something, or maybe a Floyd Mayweather or whatnot. You know, but then again, we're getting, now it's reaching because Floyd and Ryan are cool. They're not going to fight. So really, he's the A side over most people. And that's just what you got to deal with, because you have to understand the A side is no more than really kind of a popularity contest of who's hot and who's the hottest. So it doesn't matter. People always want to look at belts or accolades or skills. I mean, if that was the case, then Terrence Crawford would be the highest earning person. But in fact, guys like Tyson Fury, you know, Tyson Fury almost got knocked out by a guy he called a middleweight in Alexander Usyk in his last fight. We've never seen that happen with Bud Crawford, where, you know, he got battered or dropped by a guy like an Ngannou, but he's making a lot of money. So again, there's some things you just can't deny. Now, as it relates to Ryan, as I've said throughout this video, he is the A side. Hate it or love it, the underdog's on top. Whether you don't like him being the A side, I don't care about none of that. He is. So as I've said, and now Ryan is saying, why would Ryan Garcia concede while he's suspended on top of all other things? Why would he concede and just kind of do something that's being requested from a non-official? By non-official, I mean not authoritarian figure. Like, this isn't the New York Commission. This is not the Las Vegas, Nevada Commission telling him that you got 48 hours or else to sign up for VADA. This is not any kind of entity, body, organization, the police, 12, the feds, the FBI. Like, this is not a parole or probation officer telling him to do this. Is Bill Haney, who randomly did a video. Like, just hear what I'm saying. He randomly did a video, posted online, and says, hey, Ryan, if you want the rematch, you got 48 hours to sign up for VADA. Show the people. Which I told you was no more than a publicity stunt. Because when, let's say it's a debt collector or a child custody battle or something, right? In these real life, real term situations where they need to get a message across, you would do it via certified mail. Or if you even order high value items, like let's say on Amazon or whatnot, or your Apple, let's say you get an Apple MacBook and an iPhone coming directly to your house, they're going to require a signature, subpoenas, things like that. They are going to need a witness that we gave this paperwork to this person, or jury duty, right? They're going to send it certified mail, and it's going to have confirmations on their end that they sent it to your address, postmarked, blah, blah, blah. So you need to show up for jury duty, right? That's not what Bill Haney did. Bill Haney did a random video. Nothing. First of all, he doesn't have any authority over Ryan, which is another issue, but he just did a random video. What if Ryan Garcia is in Bucharest on vacation and he doesn't see the video, right? You can't just assume that someone sees it. So even if Ryan wanted to sign up for VADA in 48 hours and stuff, how do you even know he's seen this in time to do what you're asking? So again, this was never going to work for several reasons. You weren't going to be able to convince Ryan what to do when he holds the cards. He's telling you. Second of all, I don't need them at all. And whether you like it or not, that's the fact. Ryan was at the Pacquiao exhibition in Japan. They want him to fight over there in Japan. So regardless of what you say, he has options. And it's funny because the Haneyacks are squirming. They're either not talking about a lot of these things, because a lot of this lawsuit business and stuff, you're hearing pro fighters and they're disagreeing, saying, hey, it's a bad look. Robert Garcia's and Tim Bradley and people like myself who have a long-standing boxing channel and a voice in this industry, right? I told you this lawsuit looks bad, and all these things are further plummeting and nosediving Devin Haney's brand. And it's almost like a cry for help that the Haneys and the Haneyacks are trying to put out this notion and put out certain statements that you know won't be followed through. You know it's not going to happen. Ryan is the A side. He's not going to listen to you. So it's easy to challenge somebody to something you know they won't do, and then try to flip it for PR and to repair your image to make it look like the person is scared or whatnot. Like, for example, I do well for myself. We'll say that, right? But I'm not the biggest person that's ever lived in terms of celebrity, right? So if I challenge Jay-Z to a rap battle and I really believe it, right? Let's say I'm like, oh, Jay-Z, and he don't respond in 48 hours. So Jay-Z ducked me. Is that what we're going to go with? Or does Jay-Z have more pressing things? He might not have even heard of me. He might not have even heard my diss song. You see what I'm saying? You have to be at the level like Drake and Kendrick to know that, like Kendrick Lamar, you know Drake heard Not Like Us. It's just what it is. So this was destitute for failure. And to me, it was always a ploy to not have a rematch and then to try to thwart the audience and make it look like Ryan is the real reason the rematch is not happening. But as I told you, Devin needs to take the rest of the year off. It looks like he's probably going to do that. And he got battered in his Ryan Garcia fight, right? That's just what it is. So at the end of the day, I think this is kind of an excuse for Devin to say, oh, we tried to make, his team to say, we tried to make the rematch, but Ryan wouldn't comply to show that he's clean athlete and all this type of stuff. So therefore we're moving on. But it just sounds foolish because, again, I've said this in past videos. If you believe Ryan's a cheater and he does steroids for competition for boxing to try to get unfair advantage, if he's suspended until 2025, like dang near May 2025, like Cinco de Mayo, basically, he's suspended. So why would he need to be on steroids right now when, regardless of a clean or dirty test, he's ineligible to compete? Just think about this. Who's taking steroids, unless you're like a bodybuilder or something like that, who is taking PEDs year round? Get real. Yes, of course people cheat, but again, if someone's going to cheat, do you really think they cheat year round for boxing, or do they cheat when they're in training camp? And that's to further illustrate this whole thing has been weird. Ryan tested positive the week of the fight and not a single time before that. So it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think. Ryan has responded and he says, you would have to be dumb if you think I'm going to listen to a Bill Haney request. And I agree with him in that regard, because if somebody's suing me, let's just not beat around the bush. I'm not listening to anything you say, point blank, period. You tell me what to do, unless there's like a legal order or, a cease and desist or something that I have to abide by, or my freedom is in danger. I'm not doing anything you tell me to do. You could say bathe 3 times a day. I'm just not going to do it just to spite you. You're suing me. We don't have nothing in common, right? So that's my take. Let me know what you guys think. Subscribe for the best boxing content. I am the best in the business, and not even close.